What is up, everybody? Welcome to PDQ Live. I'm Brock. Today we got special guests, Josh and Tara, joining me.
Oh, thanks for having us, Brock.
The Brock Show.
Before we begin, I need to answer CM. I do need to do better at the I thing for the opening. Funny story.
I knew that was going to, second I saw that.
You knew. 13 tries.
15.
Oh, 15 tries.
Don't undersell it.
I walked up to the elevator and saw like 2 takes, and I was like, I'll be back in a half hour.
Yes.
And Tara, you did great. You did great. We got it done.
We re-edited what we had like storyboarded to match what Tara had given us.
Yeah.
So perfect.
And just to be clear, it really wasn't the I thing. It was stepping up on a box. Boxes and me apparently can't do it. Can't step on a box.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He put a box up. He's like, is that going to be okay? I'm like, yeah.
You know, I love that intro. The only issue is I guarantee the rest of the day I will have that song just playing in my head. Those
You're
piano
welcome.
keys. And I love it, don't get me wrong.
Rachel, we had to have the box because there's a significant height differential between most of us.
Yeah. Boxes and stairs, apparently my mortal enemies. I just want to clarify that, but yeah, I can't do it. So
It was more than just the box. It was like go in, step on the box, turn around,
Oh, yeah.
do an action, turn around, step
Yeah.
off the
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely
was-
took a little bit of coordination.
Yeah.
Which I have none of. I can barely stand up properly. So anyway. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Brock. Continue with the show.
Oh, okay. Well, we are starting off with some What to Tech because there are some good news stories out there. And I think, Josh, you're running this one, right?
Oh, you got the mouse.
I don't know. Here you go.
All right. Let's dive into What the Tech.
Other one. Oh.
Other one.
Yeah, so I themed this one. I don't know. Do we have a stinger for this?
Not Stinger, but I got this to share with everybody.
Yeah. Okay. So I titled this for Josh and Brock because I usually search the beginning of the week for What the Tech. And this one, all of these are screw ups. So they were hilarious. So here's your first one.
Yeah. First one coming from Kali Linux. I lost my repo signing key. Oopsie whoopsie.
How did that even happen?
Look, have you ever lost keys?
Yeah, but not if I'm a bit.
It happens, okay? Anywho, they lost their signing key in their repo. You have to go change some stuff. Go look at this. But it was funny. Like, this is a funny from like an offensive security distribution to lose something like this. This is an oopsie.
I would freak out if I was their manager, honestly. I seriously.
I mean,
this
I'd
one
take it
was
to the next
killing
level.
me.
It's an oopsie whoopsie.
Oh.
What's even a whoopsie? All right, Tara. Next up.
Okay. Next.
This is coming from Hacker News. So WhatsApp, remind everybody, WhatsApp.
Owned by Meta.
Owned by Meta.
Say this. Okay, owned by Meta.
To launch private processing to enable AI features while protecting message privacy.
The title in and of
Trust me.
itself, a little bit of an oxymoron. Let me
Yeah.
just say that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
You can trust me. It's safe.
We're going to use AI,
Yeah.
but it's private.
Yeah.
Trust
So
us.
This is just funny. Like, this is a kind of my opinion piece, and this is like everyone's coming out like, ooh, AI was so cool. Oh, wait, what's happening to our data? So now we have to hurry and shift, but it's safe.
Uh-huh.
Trust me.
Yeah,
It's
trust
hilarious
me.
coming from a company that literally makes its money from selling your data.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
literally the business model.
Exactly. And so when you read on this, it just gets
Yeah.
funnier and funnier.
Yeah. Let's see. What's next? Oh, look at that. Jailbreaks, unsafe code, and data theft risk in leading AI systems.
And more AI.
So trust us, it's safe. And then, oops, the immediate next article is, hey, look, we found all of this.
Mm-hmm. The second jailbreak with AI. So yeah. There's a theme. Are you seeing the theme?
Yeah, I'm seeing a theme. Okay.
This one is crazy, you guys. You think you've read it all and then you just keep going. So can I summarize for you really
Will you
quick?
please? Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is a supposed cybersecurity CEO. He owns his own company and he's the president of his own company. And I want to say it's a funny story, but this person actually does suffer from some mental health problems. Okay, so I'm not going to make fun of the mental health, but the story in of itself is crazy.
Okay.
So he was at a hospital. A family member of his was having surgery, and he saw that a hospital computer was unattended. And so for whatever reason, he was like, hey, I'm going to hop on that thing and download some malware using PowerShell. like you do.
Yeah, I think in
Yeah,
here he
that's
says
one
that
does.
he wrote it. Like he wrote a quick little script, right?
Yeah.
After he's already seen medical records. So it's an unsecured
Yes.
terminal with
Yes.
medical records on. He's like, I got this.
Then he deploys it. Then hospital staff finds that he has deployed the malware. Then
How long did it take him? Does it say in the
Really-
article like the time to?
Yes.
No,
Doesn't
it was in
actually
real
say-
time. They saw him do it. In
yeah,
real
they
time.
saw him do it.
Oh,
And it was
okay.
it was sending screenshots somewhere every 20 seconds.
Yeah, to a remote box every 10 minutes. Yeah, Drew's right. So then they caught him and then they detained him for 45 minutes. So then what does he do? He goes on LinkedIn and brags about what he's doing
Oh, jeez.
on his LinkedIn profile that has his company.
Yikes.
That's clearly the next step.
That's clearly the next step.
Obviously.
Then he complains
Step
about
1, hack hospital. Step 2, brag about it on LinkedIn.
where it shows that he's a cybersecurity professional.
Yeah.
Then he blames it on his mental illness. And he never would have done it had his meds been properly. I mean, it is
Oh, man.
crazy from top to bottom. It's actually sad, but it's crazy altogether. And then everyone on LinkedIn is like, hey, dude, maybe you stop doing that. Stop commenting. And he's like, no. And then he keeps
The hole's getting
commenting.
deep.
Stop hurting yourself. It's bad for
Stop
you.
punching yourself in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just crazy. So, yeah, it was PowerShell.
That was that's a fun little roller coaster of a ride.
yeah, this one was a good
All
one.
right, I think this next one, Microsoft has been on a winning streak
Yeah, winning.
lately. If anyone's patched anything Microsoft in the last 2 months, it's been a roller coaster,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So check out this quote from
CEO.
the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
As much as 30% of Microsoft code is written by AI.
That is wild to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So as you read through here, that's about as deep as it gets, but and it doesn't say which of the.
It doesn't,
products.
but we might have.
I got some
My-
guesses.
Just says that it inside our repos today in some of our projects.
Yeah, just in some things, we're just using AI. Places, 30% of places.
It just makes me wonder, like, what kind of checks there are, because you obviously, we just covered an article about, like, the security risk involved with AI and like, breaches involved there, and here you are just like having it write a good majority of your code.
Yeah, it's working out
I
fine.
guess
think.
minority,
We haven't
but
had
still
any.
30%.
There's been no problems recently, so
Yeah.
it's good. It's okay.
yeah, this is fine.
It's fine.
Hey, look, it's Windows admins are just used to this, but at least we know why. Now at least we know why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you'd enjoy that one. So, there you go. Do you like the theme?
That was yeah.
You
That's
done messed up.
This was a hot week.
AA Ron.
the whole place, all the way around. All right,
Mm-hmm.
moving on. We didn't bring Brock here for no reason other than he's fun, but he is fun.
Thanks.
He wrote a PowerShell blog, right?
Yeah, well, and this is kind of a shout out to the PowerShell beginners, people who are getting new into PowerShell, and you've maybe run like a bunch of like code on your like local system, but now you're trying to branch out. Maybe you want to run code against remote devices. So that's kind of what we're looking at today. Kind of some of the options you have to run your PowerShell scripts against like remote devices.
Yeah, because it can get tricky, right? There's different contexts in which you're like running from, and it can be confusing in the beginning.
For sure. Yeah. So I'm going to be going over a few basic commands. We're going to be starting off with enter PS session. Now, I like to think of enter PS session as almost as if you had gone to the computer yourself, you turn it on, and you're like right there at the terminal working on it. That's kind of what enter PS session is. It's kind of like a one-to-one relationship. You're remoting into that thing, you're running commands on it, and then you get out and you're done.
Kind of like a remote desktop, but instead of like the full GUI, it's just like remote into a prompt. A
100%.
terminal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go. If I and I'm just going to be running through these just to kind of like keep this brief, but you can kind of follow along with my code here. So I'm just doing this step by step, but running this first line here, you can see down in the terminal window that now I'm connected to Reese's Puffs. Okay. And if I want to verify that, I can run this. Sure enough, it returns what computer I'm a part of. Now, this is kind of just a temporary connection, right? This isn't permanent.
This is like, I need to do this thing on this computer
Mhm.
real fast. Go run the command, bounce out.
Yeah, exactly. If I wanted to get like the file share, maybe that'll run. There we go. So I can see the file shares on. I was like, fingers
Please
crossed.
run.
Come on. So yeah, so it's like I can go and I'm interacting with this computer directly, but as soon as I exit, that command no longer exists, and I can verify that by running git ps session, which will show you all your active remote sessions, and I have none right now. So now if I wanted to interact with this computer again, I'd have to connect again to it. Manually establish that connection again. That's where new PS session comes in. Now, new PS session starts a persistent connection that is like basically live until you tell it not to be live anymore. So as soon as you establish this connection, so we'll run that new PS session, computer name, Reese's Puffs. You'll see here, now, unlike when I did the first one where I connected and it's like, hey, you're connected to Reese's Puffs, you'll see that I'm still just locally on my computer, but I've established this run space here. I've opened this remote connection to this computer. So that's established, and now I can interact with it how I want to. If I want to actually dive into the session, I could call it by like its ID or its name. For instance, if I go like this, oh, I guess I got to add an actual
You got to give it
ID number there. Try that again. There we go. Now you see that I'm connected there. Now, this is really cool because, and I'll actually show you a reason for this, but it's kind of a painful process. Like, oh, hey, I don't want to have to remember, like, because that PS session ID, that's randomly generated as you're like connecting and disconnecting remote clients. So
it's hard to keep that mapping of like a Reese's Puff of 6.
exactly. So instead of doing that, what we can do, I'm going to remove the PS session real quick. So that just canceled all of my PS sessions. And instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to do new PS session. And this time we're going to connect to 3 different computers. And we're going to assign it to a variable here.
Ooh, okay, so your sesh variable is now a PS session on all of those?
Correct. Yeah.
Cool.
So now I can reference all those computers that are attached to that variable with just a variable. I don't have to remember the IDs or the names or anything like that. And let me see. Let me just run. Okay, so there you go. You can actually see my current connections. They're open. I can run to them. I can, if I ever want to use that session, now instead of like having to reference the actual session ID name or number, I can just use that variable. Now, so if I've got a couple things here. Now you'll see I'm using invoke command, and I'm targeting the session instead of like the computer name itself. So I'm targeting session sesh. And then the script block, so this is kind of like your standard syntax for like an invoke command. You have invoke command, you have what you're targeting, and then you have your script block. So I'm just going to run this real quick. Sure enough, it returned all 3 computers that I am remoted into right now. And we can take that a step further with git ps drive, getting the C drive on each of these. So all of a sudden you can see like, hey, I can interact with these when I want. Now that that connection is established, I can run whatever I want when I want. And I wanted to show you real quick kind of the difference between where that might come in handy, where it's like, okay, well, this is just a real brief session, or this is a persistent connection. So right here, if I do invoke command, you see that I'm not targeting that session. I'm just targeting one computer. So I'll run this, and what this is doing, the script block, is it's assigning a variable to this get time. It's getting like the time zone basically of the remote computer. So I'll run that, and now it's assigned that to the variable. But now if I try to call that variable in the remote session itself, it doesn't return anything. That's because as soon as that invoke command finished running, it closed the connection, everything was lost.
Yep.
That's because it wasn't persistent. If we do the same thing, but we target this persistent connection, and then we run the actual results, there you go. So this persisted, this did not, all because I was targeting this persistent connection that was established with that new PS session.
I think something else to call out here too, if you're new to remoting, notice like your variable is defined inside of that script block, right? If you want to define variables outside of the script block, you can, but it changes the syntax.
Yeah.
Like you end up with what's called like a using variable. So instead, like if we defined, the variable TZ outside of, instead of calling $TZ inside the script block, it'd be using :TZ. That lets when it goes to run the command, know that it needs to pull it from the context it's in, give it in the script block to have it available there.
Yeah.
That caught me so many times when I first started getting into PS remoting. It's like, I defined all these variables. Why aren't they populating inside the script block?
Yeah. and using is such a better way of doing it, because back in like, I want to say like PowerShell like 3 or 2 or 3, it was like, no, you basically had to like redefine everything in the remote command itself. So passing it was not easy whatsoever. But we actually do, and I'll see if we can like find this blog at some point, but we actually do have a blog that goes over passing variables between remote commands. So it kind of shows you all the options, including using that. Now, this is awesome and totally helpful to know all this stuff, because PowerShell, I mean, once you start automating, once you start working beyond the bounds of just your local device, this is stuff that you're going to use all of the time. But there are some limitations to it. If you're trying to reach a computer that maybe you only have like can see across the internet, well, unless they're using their VPN, you're still going to have an issue, right? And that's kind of where PDQ Connect comes in. And real quick, let's see if I can actually find it. Hey, there it is. All right. So PDQ Connect obviously has a couple of awesome solutions for this. We can come in here to a device. Let's go to, who's that looking for?
Who you gonna pick on today?
Go
Fruity
Fruity
Pebbles?
Pebbles. Yeah.
All right.
Commands. I forgot what command I was going to run on this. This one right here.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is a cool command. I paste that and run that. Now this is like, again, this is kind of like that first enter PS session where you're one-to-one working directly with this target device, right? And this command itself is really cool, this get counter command, because this is like live data. Hey, how much memory is currently available on this system? Like how many resources are being used? And you can do that for like the processor and stuff like that. But here you can see not much, 873 megs.
Doing this morning?
So
Busy.
It's got some stuff. It's doing some stuff. I definitely was not putting stuff on it yesterday that you don't know about.
Oh boy.
there we go.
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is there some negatives to keeping that session open with the PowerShell? Any security concerns with having that open?
I mean, I wouldn't want to keep it open when like, it depends. Obviously, if you're like automating a process, you've got like scheduled tasks running and stuff, that stuff is just going to run, so make sure your environment is secure. But, if I was just like running some stuff on my console or my terminal and I was just like there working on it and, hey, I'm done for the day or whatever, I wouldn't leave that up and running.
Okay, so you should close it each day.
I mean, look, those inner PS session uses DP API. So it's user on device as a token, right? So it's the same thing as like, do you unplug and take your computer with you everywhere you go, or do you just lock it?
I lock it.
It's very similar. Like hijacking those sessions is, I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's hard.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
the
should
stars
close
kind
it
of got
each
out of
day.
line.
Yeah.
Dustin's thrown down. He said that Brock's shoe game might be better than yours.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said.
Those
to
are
me.
clean.
I'm just saying.
That is just because I just washed them.
Ooh.
Extra vibrant right now.
Nice.
There is one last thing I want to
All right,
show. So this
all right.
is, again, great, like one-to-one, right? I can come in here in PDQ Connect and I can work on one computer, do whatever I have to do, and then I'm done. But if you need to do it on many computers, you can do that with, obviously, a package. So I created this package, simple script, get TPM, right? So if I deploy this now, and we'll go to Reese's Puffs,
Yeah.
and maybe Hing.
I do love that there's two very polar opposite naming
Stop it.
schemes happening here.
Why are you triggering me? I'm going to freak out. Stop it.
Okay, we're going to deploy that. Now, some people, like if you're new to Connect, you might like see that, hey, I deployed that, but I didn't get any information back. Well, we're always returning information to you. You can come in here to the deployments and actually see they've already run, so very fast. But if I come in here and I click on the status, whatever the status says, so here it says complete, I can come in here, I can see what I ran, get TPM, and then I can see the results here, TPM present false.
Yeah. You can just see that it does get wrapped. Like we do help with like what you're running. We put in like try catch so that we can return like actual usable standard out to you.
Right. Yep. So there you go. So, even when it comes to devices over the internet, you have an option for that like one-to-one remote connection, or you have options where, hey, I can send this out to multiple computers at once.
I'm sitting on my mic pack. I just wanted you to be aware of that.
Oh, sweet.
Continue. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that wraps it up. I'm glad you finished it off perfectly.
Yeah, I'm here for
You
you.
button
Brock.
that up just.
I'm here for you, Brock. Thank you, Brock. That was super
That was
helpful.
fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
thanks.
great. All right. Our last segment of the day, we're continuing on a domain of our own.
All right, so I learned something this week, you
Yeah.
guys. I learned don't put a thread in Discord and ask for feedback because people won't give it to you.
Why not?
I don't know. Well, that's not true.
Okay, so
We
tell
had-
us what happened. What
okay.
happened? Oh, that's not what I
So, and Andrew actually told me, because Andrew knows all. Andrew's a smarty pants. He's like, you put too much information in there. People don't like to read. That's what he said. And it turns out they don't.
Oh, that's true.
So we wanted everyone's input on how we proceed with our new domain. Do we want to go hybrid?
Yep.
Do we want to go all cloud? What do we want to do with our brand new baby domain?
Yeah, I think
There's so many options.
there's so many options, and like we're not kidding when we say we don't have a plan for this thing.
We don't.
Like this is audience and Discord driven.
Mhm.
What we do and build.
Yeah. So we can build stuff and then we can trash it and we can go a different direction. But
Yeah. Huh?
I'll tell you, of the 6 people that voted, they voted for hybrid. So we could.
I think that's smart though, because I feel like most people in this situation, I feel like most people kind of doing that transition to on-prem to cloud, they eventually hit that hybrid like hurdle where it's like, that's like the growing
Yeah.
pains section of it, right?
Well, they do, and I've done hybrid. I mean, of course, I've done on-prem. I've done hybrid, but let me just throw this out there for the listening audience. Okay, just hear me out, and we are prepared to do hybrid. We do have it already.
Oh, I did. I staged it.
We
I've got a
staged
server
it.
here. It's ready to go. We're
Yeah,
gonna go.
we
through
have
it.
a sync
Yep.
box ready, but let me just throw it out. Ready?
Yep.
What if we went all cloud and then we could tackle a print server in the cloud? We could do a SharePoint file server, and then we could do a print server. We could do universal print.
Can
We
we mute her
could-
mic,
No, I'm just saying.
please?
What are the things that you're like, oh, I really don't ever want to do this? We could do it together.
Why?
Huh?
Why do you like causing pain?
So maybe at the end of all
Because-
this, we transition from the hybrid to all cloud.
We could.
Or no, we
Good.
start cloud and we go all the way back down to on-prem.
There we
Well,
go.
I don't know. We could do everything.
All right.
What do you guys want to do? I'm just saying.
Well,
And maybe
we're going to
if
go
we could-
hybrid. We're
if
gonna
we
at
could
least
get
it
more
there.
people to chime in, at least we
Yeah,
could
we
say
wanna
there
hear-
are dozens of you.
Yeah.
You know, just a
Yeah.
few.
Okay. So for today, let's since we have them ready, let's just continue with what we're doing. So if you've never made a domain controller before, we're going to walk through that because it's actually so much easier than you thought. So
Yeah.
let's just do it.
Okay.
So what we did.
And we're going to use the GUI. We're going to
Yep,
use the
we're gonna
GUI.
use the GUI.
It's faster to use PowerShell. And here's
It
the
is.
cool thing. At the very end, it's going to even show us the PowerShell output of what we needed to run.
Yes.
But we wanted to show it so we could walk through it. So we
Yeah.
need to add roles and features, right?
Yep. So this is just
Which is
a
good.
bare
Everybody can see.
bone server.
Yep.
Josh actually made server 2025. So if you've never seen it before, this is what it looks like. So the first thing you do is you actually I ran a bajillion updates yesterday, day before. All you're going to do is assign the role.
Yep.
And this is not domain join. We're just going to say that
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, this is like brand new, right?
Brand
So we need to add Active Directory domain services and we need it to be a DNS server.
Yep.
Right? It's going to bark at me. And it's going to say, hey, don't have a static IP.
Yeah, because
We're
we
just
did
gonna
not
ignore it.
add one yet.
Okay. So we need to add those 2 roles.
Yep.
Okay. And we're going to click next. And then
Group policy.
it's automatically going to choose this.
We don't really need it though yet. Well, are we going to add it? Do we want it?
Yeah,
Sure. Okay,
we do.
Let's add it.
We've got RSAT. So this, like, if you're really unfamiliar with this spot, this is also what is available on the machine already.
But you notice it picked all these. So if you've never done it before, just leave it. Leave
Yep.
what it picks.
Okay. Here it's going to say, give you some warning, give you some information about ADD. We're going to go on.
Mhm.
Hey, here's what DNS is. Have you ever, it'll walk you through all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Next your way to victory.
Okay. It's going to give us a summary here. It's going to say, I'm going to install this. I'm going to install this and
Mhm.
all of these things when we click install.
Yep.
Okay. And now this is about as fun as watching paint dry.
So let's go to our other one.
So we're going to go to our other box.
So the other box we made is for the AD sync. So now it's called something different because, of course, why
Well,
wouldn't it be?
Let's back up a little,
Oh, back
little
up.
bit.
Sorry.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
So now we've got Microsoft 365
Mhm.
and we've got Entra ID happening
Yes.
over there.
Yep.
We did that last week.
Yep.
We've got a DC getting its roles installed
Mhm.
on our other machine.
Mhm.
And so now we need something in the middle that can sync them.
Well, and just in case you've not done this before, it's going to install Active Directory users and computers. So we'll make OUs on there.
Yeah.
Now we need to make a sync box to sync up those OUs to the cloud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make them friends.
Just clarify.
Okay. There's a bunch of different ways to do this.
Yes.
Right.
There's this one, which is the AD Connect server. And then there's also maybe done by AI called Cloud Connect. They're different. We chose this one, but there's two different ones now.
Let's be real. I mean, it was made by Microsoft, so it was made by AI.
This one, and I did point this out to Josh while he was vacuuming. This is the question I had to ask him. This one tells us it's not compatible with Server 2025, but we're going to roll the dice.
We're going to try it anyway.
We're going to try it anyway. Okay.
I love that.
We're
I love that for you guys.
Well, we're maybe going to try it. This is one of the decision points that we want from the audience walk.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of different ways that we can configure this hybrid and the sync. We can deploy to Azure. We can deploy to a sync box on-prem.
Yes.
How do we go about doing this?
Yeah. What do you guys want to do? Do we want to try the new cloud one? This is the wizard, I believe, that we will put on the serve box. This is the sync server.
Yeah.
You see an IP, but we actually called it EntreSync is the name of the server. It's just,
here.
I had to map
prove
it
to you.
via IP, but that really is the name of it. But yes, it will perform the sync on the server once we download this wizard.
All right. Let's go see if our paint has dried, shall we? If I can click the right one. Oh, it still has not.
Okay.
So we're still running through this. So that's the question is like, what do we do to get these things synced together? And there's the thing to call out is the Azure one does cost, what was it, like 0.03 is like
something like that.
3.6 cents an hour to run is estimated.
Yeah.
But if Kelly, can we have 3.6 cents an hour?
No.
Oh, Kelly says no. Dang it.
Well, let's just call it 4 cents an hour, and it's like $1 something a day.
Can we have $1?
Fine.
Okay. Kelly says we can have $1. Okay.
Shelby's saying, can't the server perform the sync?
Yeah. Anywho, I think we're gonna run out of time.
We might. Okay,
We're
let's
gonna
just
run
do
out
it.
of time.
Let's just start.
Well-
We don't want to start? Okay.
Well, we don't even have a DC yet. It's still installing.
Okay.
So I guess here's the last call out, right? Where we'll kind of end this segment for the day, maybe, is what do we do next?
Yeah, what do we do next?
We really do need your help. Like now we're going to have a DC. We're going to finish doing the promotion on this machine. As soon as this roll's installed, we're going to run through the promotion. We're going to have an on-prem Active Directory, and we're going to have Microsoft 365, and we need to make them friends.
Are we going to do it today? You think we're going to promote it today? So
Ooh,
if anyone hasn't made a domain controller, the first time I did it, it was like the easiest thing I've ever done. I'm like, is this really what you do? There it is.
It just finished.
You just hit that button and
just finished.
you have a domain. Hit it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
So we are a brand new forest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty damn quick.
.dev.
Should we make a match so we have some...
Yes. You know I have
Yes,
to match stupid Brock and his naming convention and Connect that doesn't... I'm growling at you right
What
now.
did I do?
You have computer names that don't
Force
match.
functional level. Yep, it's not read-only. Ooh, man. I will remember this.
Password 1.
So let's talk about what this DSRM password is.
Yes.
This is the directory services restore mode. So if everything goes to crap,
Mm-hmm.
you need this password.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Are you going to remember it?
This
Yeah.
is where a vault
Okay.
comes in handy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh is the vault.
It's right here for right now, and I'm going to immediately go put it in password manager. Okay. We're not going to do any DNS delegation, and it's going to look and it's going to find our NetBIOS name.
Okay.
I hope it's not more than 15. If it is, it's going to yell at us.
Mhm.
Oh, nope. We're good.
Whee! Can this really be happening? We didn't have any problems on the first one? No, something's going to happen. It's going to yell.
Yep. These are all standard. Like these probably should not be changed at all.
Okay.
Was that
Right.
15 exactly? It might
Yeah.
have been.
Yeah, I think it was. Okay. Here's all of the stuff that you need. Like I said, here's your PowerShell
Okay.
script.
Okay.
You're going to do it there.
Okay.
And it's going to run a prerequisite check. And then we're going to have a DC here as soon as we're done. It's going to throw some warnings. You should probably read those.
Well,
not reading it
let's
right now.
talk about it. But I've never done a domain controller that doesn't have a static IP. And I brought this up to Josh and he's like, don't worry about it. And I was like, okay, I'll try not to.
Yeah. I think that's a bigger discussion we can have on like static IP versus DHCP reservations versus whether DHCP is as a domain joined machine or if it's some other service. There's a bunch of like prerequisites and like infrastructure decisions going on there. But for now, we're just running in the current infrastructure we have. Okay. We now have a DC. So we have a DC. We'll go create users on the DC and we'll sync them, but we need to know.
Where do you guys want to go next?
Yeah, exactly.
What have you always wanted to know about making, doing? What have you struggled with? What should we do together?
I don't know. Let us know. All right. That was it for part 2. Help us decide what we're going to do for part 3.
Yes.
Thanks for watching, everybody. For PDQ, I'm Josh.
I'm Tara.
I'm Brock.
Thank you for joining our webcast today. If no one has told you yet today, you're freaking awesome. Just thought I'd let you know that. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave us your comments and join us on Discord. That is where the party is. Have a fantastic week. We will see you back here in 2 weeks. Yes, count them. 2 weeks. Bye-bye.